Welcome back. So plenty of stocks on our radar as well as we are counting down to the open. And we've got, of course, our team standing by to take you through all the key names that you need to keep your eye out on today. So let's get started with the CNBC-TV18 list of top stocks to watch. And first up, we'll be looking out for a lot of these PSU oil and gas names. And Nimesh will tell us why. Nimesh, could there be another IPO soon?
Oh, absolutely. BPCL board last night has approved IPO of Mahanagar Natural Gas. So it's a JV between IGL owns 50%, BPCL owns 22.5%, GAIL owns 22.5%, and Maharashtra government owns the remaining 5%. Now, Citi has written a note and they believe that it's a value unlocking opportunity for both IGL and for GAIL. For IGL, Citi believes that this can contribute nearly 45 rupees per share to their target price of 450. And for GAIL, it will contribute close to 12 rupees per share to the target price of 280. So, a value unlocking opportunity for GAIL and IGL. And maybe, because of that, you'll see all the three in the green, BPCL, GAIL, as well as IGL.
All right, Nimesh, thank you very much for that. So keep an eye out on all these names as we start trading. Bharat Forge should also be in focus. Rima is here to tell us why. Rima, good morning.
Hi, good morning. So December Class A truck, the details are out. In North America, Class A truck orders are up 39% on a year-on-year basis, though down 2% on a month-on-month basis, but they're above the 30,000 mark for the second straight month. So good news coming in for companies like Bharat Forge.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot for that, Rima. Well, I'm going to talk about two stocks. One is Nuvoco and the other one is NMDC. Well, yesterday in closing bell itself, I said the market is sniffing something with regard to Nuvoco because the markets were lower, but Nuvoco as a stock price was more or less flattish in trade. And for the last month or so, they've been anticipating that maybe there could be some corporate action. And bang on, that's what came out yesterday post-market as. Now, they have said that the resolution professional have accepted the company's resolution plan for Vadraj Cement. They say that over the next many months, they'll be making some investments. What are the numbers with regard to Vadraj Cement? Well, it's close to around 6 million tons of grinding capacity and around 3.5 million tons of clinker capacity. The other details that they've said is 15 months as well they'll be investing, and by Q3 FY27, they hope to get the plant operational because this is a plant that's been shut for many years. Moving to the benefits for Nuvoco, how does it benefit them? One is that it increases its total capacity. It's around 25 million tons, at 6 million tons. So it goes up by more than 20% in terms of capacity. The second factor is they'll go to around 31 million tons, which the street will like a larger cement company. And the other factor is predominantly they've been in East India as well as, in that belt itself. Now they're going to be getting a larger part of their mix towards North as well as West, close to around 40% out there. What's awaited? We don't know the valuation, so we'll wait by for that. What kind of capex are they going to incur? It appears, at least for now, the street could take it a little bit positively, though how they'll get this difficult asset up and running is a big question mark out there. So going with green on Nuvoco for the time being because they're adding capacity in a favorable location. Next up, I'm looking at NMDC. Now, reports suggest that the Steel Ministry is looking at KIOCL as well as NMDC. Potentially, they could merge. So that's what the report suggests. And they're saying that there could be some synergy benefits between the two. Now, if you look at KIOCL's numbers, the market capitalization is around 26,000 crores odd. That's more than 40% of NMDC's market capitalization. And what you're getting a revenue of close to 1,800 crores with a net loss out there. So Phillip Capital, they put out a note. They believe that the current valuation, since it's, KIOCL, it's gone up to such an extent and it's trading with a market cap of around 26,000 crores. They believe it will be negative for an NMDC. So going with a mild tinge of red on NMDC if in case this merger goes through.
All right, Nigel, thank you very much for that. So again, a couple of stocks from the metals and mining space there. Well, Kalyan is the next one that we want to focus our attention on. Mangalam is standing by with deals. Mangalam, good morning.
Good morning. So yesterday, Titan's update came by and they reported a 25% growth in their jewellery business. All eyes were then on what Kalyan Jewellers would do because over the last many quarters, they have been outperforming Titan when it comes to growth on a low base itself. And that's exactly what Kalyan Jewellers has done. Their third quarter revenue has grown by 39%. India business has grown by 41% with the same store sales growth coming in at 24%. So India's love for jewellery continues in an otherwise weak consumer sentiment. strong festive season, wedding demand and higher gold prices is aiding our love for the yellow metal itself. And not just India, the Middle East business as well grew at a slower pace than India, but 22% was strong as well, now accounts for about 11% of their sales. And Kalyan Jewellers during the third quarter opened their first ever store in the United States, so that's something we'll keep an eye out on. They will open 30 stores in the fourth quarter and they have a target of 170 stores in FY26 as well. See green on Kalyan Jewellers, with the only caveat being that from a valuation standpoint, Kalyan now is trading at a premium to Titan.
Yeah, I mean, my God, those are scorching numbers from Kalyan, almost 40% growth. Mangalam, thanks very much for that. Titan also had a good update yesterday, and the stock managed to hold out in the green in that huge sort of market slide that we were in the midst of. Let's see what Kalyan does today. But over to Abhishek now, who's also watching out for a couple of names today. Good morning, Abhishek.
So Bajaj Finserv has come out with their monthly business momentum, wherein the general insurance gross written premium is down about 2.5% on a month-on-month basis. But take no fact away from the fact that life insurance business has done really well for them. So over there, the individual single premium has grown by 23.5% on a month-on-month basis. That is December versus November. Individual non-single premium has grown by 59% month-on-month. The group single premium has grown by almost 61% on a month-on-month basis, and the group yearly renewal premium that's grown by 115% on a month-on-month basis, taking the overall written premium up by 60% for them on a month-on-month basis. So it should trade in green today. Back to you.
Thanks a lot for that, Abhishek. Well, let's hop across to Vinny. She's here to tell us about Zydus Life. Morning, Vinny.
Good morning. So there's some important positive news coming in for Zydus Life this morning. Now, the US FDA has accepted its filing and priority review for one of the new drug applications, that is CUTX-101. Now, this is an important drug and they've been working on this since the last 1 year. It's mainly used for the treatment of disease of Menkes disease, which is a very rare pediatric disease. As of now, there's not much treatment for this disease. So important one to watch out for that, because they've been granted 6-month priority review. Now, obviously, CUTX-101 was granted as a breakthrough therapy, also fast track, rare pediatric disease and orphan drug designation by the FDA and orphan designation by the EMA as well. So important to watch out for Zydus Life. Could see some positive up move today in trade.
All right, Vinny, thank you very much for that. So that is Zydus Life in focus. AkzoNobel is the company in focus. There is, of course, potentially a deal brewing there. Mangalam is here with details. Mangalam, morning.
Well, up until now, what was just speculation is now, something that has been put in on paper by the international promoter of AkzoNobel itself. What they were mulling in terms of structure going forward is something that they've directed the board to do. The first part of the business, which is the industrial part, powder coatings and international R&D, will now be sold to, an indirect subsidiary of AkzoNobel NV, which is the promoter of AkzoNobel. So basically, the industrial business will be housed by the international promoter, but the decorative paints business will now be looked at in terms of an acquisition opportunity. The board has directed the international promoter has directed the board to commence evaluation and examination of acquisition offers for their decorative paints business. So this is something that we'll definitely monitor as we go along, because here on CNBC-TV18 itself, the management of Asian Paints has said that they will be interested in AkzoNobel if it's on the block. Birla Opus has denied any acquisition opportunities in the very near future, whereas Berger Paints as well has said that they will do any acquisition only at the right price and not enter any sort of bidding war. So what happens to AkzoNobel from here, the makers of Dulux Paints, is something that we'll most definitely keep an eye out on.
All right, Mangalam got it. So it's official now. And let's see what finally comes out of that proposed sale of the India operations. We'll quickly recap our list of stocks to watch then today. The ones that have positive news flow are IGL, BPCL, GAIL, Bharat Forge, Nuvoco Vistas, Kalyan Jewellers, Bajaj Finserv, Zydus Life and AkzoNobel India. NMDC is the only stock on the radar that could open out in the red. Right, that's the stock list for the morning. Let's move on and figure out what's happening with commodities. We have Manisha joining in with the latest. Manisha, morning. So finally, that dollar index has taken a bit of a breather. What's the latest in your world?
Well, it should be a good day for markets, really. So it'll be because dollar index has taken a breather. The crude oil prices are off at 3-month highs. Well, crude actually was trading at a $77 a barrel yesterday, which is a 3-month high. But there is weak economic data from US and Germany. Saudi Arabia is raising prices for Asia buyers. So markets are looking at various things happening there, which has led to a bit of a decline in the crude oil prices there. But the strength has come back in some of these metals. So when you look at copper, we've seen near 2% of gains in the overnight market. Silver prices gained up by 1.5% as well. The ferrous metals have continued to decline. So you have iron ore prices trading at a 3-month lows. China mills will produce less steel due to low profitability and off-season, and that means that there is more iron ore prices gathering at Chinese port in terms of inventories, and that's weighing on iron ore and steel, both those prices today. But for this week, it still continues to be the Fed official speeches, the jobs data from US that comes in on Friday. That is where the markets will get further cues from.
All right, Manisha, thank you very much for that. So commodities there, and we'll revisit some of them later. But we'll take a break here. We connect with Amnish Agarwal of Prabhudas Lilladher for some fundamental stock conversation that's coming up. Stay tuned.